Hey guys, Rochelle here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I am going to be doing the hashtag that I created when the tarot asks and when the oracle asks. And I had mentioned while I was doing that the first time that I was going to be doing when the oracle asks for this oracle deck that I have, because the other one was the tarot, and they were both past life work decks. One just happens to be tarot, one just happens to be oracle. So I'm going to be touching on this oracle. So I've been meaning to do this, but it's been so nice this week. We've been in the pool a lot. And then we also had Memorial Day weekend. So my husband was home for a few days. We just like cooked out and just enjoyed ourselves, you know. So I've just been living life, you know. So I figured I better get back to making a couple of videos at least. So let's just get started. So I have my iPad over here with all of the questions. The premise of this video or hashtag, if you haven't seen the first one, is to use one deck. So if you have one deck and a strong connection, and if you've used it, you know, quite a few times, you've bonded with that deck, and now the premise of this is, instead of you interviewing the deck is actually interviewing you after you've used it, asking you valuable questions that could also be valuable for somebody who is possibly thinking about purchasing this particular deck. So let's just get started. So question 1, what drew you to me to begin with? Well, what drew me to this particular deck, I had seen it on Kickstarter. However, I didn't back it at the time because I think I was backing a few other ones and I just couldn't do it at the time. So I thought I had missed out. However, and I had just gotten the art history for past lives tarot, and I was talking in a private chat with Amber from Lavender Moon, and I was telling her about the other tarot that I just got, and she was telling me about this tarot, and I'm like, well, damn it. Or I mean about this oracle. So I ended up, she had said that they were still available, and I believe that it was on her Etsy shop after the Kickstarter. So I went and I found it, and I was able to get it then. So, but ultimately it's just because I want to be able to do past life readings, and this one is fabulous. So 2, do you use me more seasonally? No. Just like in my last video, which I will be linking down below for the art history for past lives tarot, I use you when I'm wanting to do past life work, period. So let's go to 3. Question 3. Do I feel like a certain zodiac sign to you? Same answer. You feel like the entire zodiacal, and even more so, even beyond. So you just feel like time itself, you know, beyond the zodiac signs. 4, how do I make you feel about yourself? You totally make me feel like you just get me. You get me on a higher level kind of thing, because you have helped me explore many different lives and many different times, how I died, how old I was, whether or not I, you know, had love in my life, and I mean, just really good stuff. So you make me feel more like I know myself better because of working with you. 5, how do I help you to see yourself more clearly? That kind of goes right along with the last one. Just because you help me see beyond this limitation of this particular life and see different lives and what I went through in those particular lives that could be very telling to what I'm going through now, or where I have more talent in this lifetime, or things that I need to work on in this lifetime, because perhaps I went through something more traumatic in a past life, or certain people that are in my life for certain reasons that were maybe unfinished karma, or because we have this contract together, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So, number 6, do you use me to read for others or keep me all to yourself? And I'm sorry, guys, I should be pulling this out while I'm talking. Don't mind me, I'm just a little absent-minded. Let me take all these extra cards out of here. There's more than that, but they're probably stuck in here somewhere. So, this is what they look like. 6. Do you use me to read for others or keep me all to yourself? I use you to read for others and for myself. So, do you let others touch me? If others came into the vicinity here personally for a reading, or like somebody that I trusted, a loved one, perhaps that I'm maybe doing a past life reading on, or if a client came here, then yes, I would want their energy on this deck. Number 8, have you done any alterations on me or plan to? I have not. Because I think you are just absolutely perfect. I love that it's already been gilded. Beautiful. I didn't do that. It came that way. And the size is really good. I mean, you can definitely shuffle. And the fact that it's round with the stuff on any side, which I'll get to that. I'm really trying to get through these quickly so I can really show you the meat of this particular deck. So, question number 9. How best have you bonded with me? Oh my goodness. We have been through many adventures together, not just for me, but for other people as well, friends. Right after I got this especially, and I did some readings on my channel with this a few years ago. Gosh, it's been a while. So that's how I bonded with you. And going through your book a lot and researching things, because this kind of oracle takes you into like researching other time periods, where on the earth, because it's just, wait till I get into the guidebook. It's just phenomenal. Okay. Number 10. How best have you bonded with, oh, no, sorry. How well can you shuffle me? Okay, well, I already showed that, but I'll do it again really quick. Now, oh, there's another extra card. Now, I would probably just do like a waterfall. And that works perfectly fine. And the beautiful thing about this, whereas, and I know that sometimes some people have issues with round decks because they're constantly trying to put the right side up because it gets all twisted around. But this is why this round deck works so perfectly, because depending on what side is up, that's the side that you're using when you do the readings. So I can't even remember how many cards are in this deck, but it's like 4 times that, because there's 4 ways of looking at each card. And then there's stuff on the backside too, which I'll get to. So, does my size hinder or help me? It actually helps me because it's not a big size, which is perfect. If it was a little bit bigger, it would still be okay. But I think it's perfect. The art is easy to see. The words, the font, everything, the backside, it's all big enough for me to see without wearing my glasses. So it's all good. My reading glasses. All right, so number 12. Do you get excited or turned off by my cardstock? The cardstock is great. It works perfect for what it needs to do as far as the tool goes. So the next question is 13. How do you use me? Emotional, psychological, spiritual, practical guidance, love readings, past life, shadow work, magic, using it in magical ritual. And I would say primarily it's past life work. However, in past life work, there's psychological stuff, there is emotional stuff, there is spiritual stuff, there is love, there is death, there is communication from beyond, maybe a communication with your higher self. Could you use this in magic? Absolutely, you could use this in magic. If you are working on doing ancestral work, you could use this. If you're working on, which, you know what? I'm going to take this upstairs because I am doing ancestral work and I'm going to take it up with me. But you can use this after you've been in contact with, either a past life or a past loved one, or something along that lines. Well, then you can do some sort of magic in order to strengthen that bond, perhaps so that you get, psychic, dream, astral traveling back there, which I have done several times. So anyways, let me move on. I do believe it's practical guidance. I believe that it's shadow work. I believe that it's everything because the nature of what this deck can do beyond just a regular tarot. This, wait till you see the book. I can't say that enough. So, 14. Do you feel another entity speaking through me? Yes, absolutely. Several different entities, several different energies. And like I said, that could be an ancestor, that could be time itself, that could be an earlier version or a different version of me, my higher self. So yes, it's specific for whatever it is that I'm using it for, the reading at hand. 15. Do you set the scene when using me, like candles, incense, and music? So I wanted to state, because the last time I talked about how obviously I like to set my scene and how important it is. Do I always set the scene when I'm doing tarot? No, not always. However, this is not something I just set up for videos. This is an actual reading area for me, but I have other reading areas where I also have, candles and crystals, and that's just pretty much like a rule of thumb in my house, in my little reading areas. So it's always like kind of setting the scene, and I light a candle, maybe burn some incense if I have good ventilation. But is it a must in order to work with the deck? No. You can use the deck anywhere. I can go up to my, dining room table and just pull it out and do a past life reading. As a matter of fact, I have. So there's that. So, 16. Do you associate me with a deity or use me devotionally? I do not associate you with a deity. And I really don't use you devotionally. However, doing ancestral work, which I never thought about doing that until I started recording this video, I think that I could. I think that's a possibility. So I'm going to leave it at that. 17. Do you see me as a friend or tool or both? Yes, I see you as a friend. I see you as another version of myself. time itself, a tool, of course, a vehicle. So yeah, all of the above. Do you use me in an everyday kind of way or once in a while? It would be once in a while whenever I'm looking to do certain kind of work, but I want to increase that. 18. No, I'm sorry, 19. Do you feel seen when we talk? And I will be putting all these questions down below. There's 25 questions. What was it? Do you feel seen when we talk? Absolutely. On a higher level, I feel seen. I'm sorry. I'm doing it again. I get so preoccupied. But look at... I have a full walkthrough of this particular deck on my channel, as well as examples of how I've used this. Granted, it was years ago, so I'll try to remember to link them, okay? I've even done lives with this deck. All right, let me see. 20. Does my art speak to you in a special way? Oh, yes. It definitely takes me back to another time. Because that's what it's supposed to do, right? Yeah. So, you know, it's kind of like a basic kind of art too, though. It's not like cartoony. It doesn't feel cartoony to me. It just feels expressive with colors, but just line drawings with colors because I love colors. If it was black and white, I wouldn't feel, probably, it would not hit me the same because I'm a color person. And the colors that are in this are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So, what kind of stories do you see in me? Oh my goodness gracious. So let me show you. Let me just dig into that guidebook a little bit and show you. So, well, actually, let me show you one thing first. Let me grab one of them here. Okay, so the time frame for this particular card is early modern age, lesson, gluttony, death, dementia. Africa was the location. Abandonment was the trauma. Faith was eccentric. Love was obsessive. Identity was the husband. So I was the husband in this life. It's not really, I'm not really doing a reading, but to show you what it shows on here, okay? So let's go to the different categories in the back. And there's total write-ups for each card that is so good in detail for each keyword. But let me show you on the back. And, oh, by the way, I do have this particular book also digital. So I could use it with my iPad, which actually makes it easier to be able to clip to. I wonder if I can put links in. I wonder if it has links to the different things, which would make it a lot easier. So time frame. It goes from all the way from pre-Earth. So pre-Earth indicates a period before humans inhabited the Earth, all the way through early Stone Age, Neolithic Revolution, Age of Atlantis, early Bronze, Middle Bronze, Late Bronze, Classical Antiquity, early Middle Ages, and it goes into detail about each one of those ages. The Viking Age, High Middle Ages, Crusades and Inquisition, Pre-Columbian, Americas, Late Middle Ages, Age of Discovery, Age of Enlightenment, American Civil War era, Early Modern Age, and what did it say on this one? Early Modern Age. So let's see what it says for Early Modern Age. The Early Modern Age covers a period in Europe that lasts from 1450 to 1750 and includes the Renaissance period, Age of Discovery, commercial revolution, and golden age of piracy. It starts after the Middle Ages and ends around the time of the French Revolution. This period marks a time of population increase, globalization, and changes for women in the workplace. Women also began marrying later, as opposed to marrying soon after entering puberty. This made women closer in age to their husbands. There was a spread of Christianity throughout the colonization of the Americas. This age saw the decline of feudalism and the end of the Crusades and the European wars of religion. However, the Inquisition was still ongoing, as was a rise in the heterodoxy, witch phobia, and the belief in magic and witchcraft, which became widespread. In 1486, The Hammer of Witches, aka the Malleus Maleficarum, by Heinrich Kramer, was written. The church embarked on a witch hunt in Europe and the Salem witch trials in the New World. Those who suffered mental disorders or who were rural, if I can say that word, healers, midwives, or nonconformists, endured persecution. Jews faced lowered status and discrimination, and the Black Death also occurred during this age. So that's just one example of the amount of details that you get. Then the lessons, right? So we've got abuse of technology, accountability, becoming more natural, forgiveness, gluttony, greed, hubris, leadership, overcoming fear, overcoming loss, passive conformity, peace, power, prophecy, and gifts, seeing the bigger picture, self-expression, self-identity, self-love, truth and discernment, walking the Middle Ages, and there's more. And then we've got death. We've got, this shows the way that you died. Either accident, animal attack, broken heart, childbirth, dementia, drowning, fire, hypothermia, miscarriage or died at birth, murder, natural disaster, non-contagious illness, old age, plague or contagion, poison, public execution, starvation or dehydration, suicide, torture, and war. And then we've got locations: Africa, Arctic or Antarctic, Asia, Baltics or Central Europe, Central or South America, Eastern Europe, India, island, jungle, lost civilization, Mexico, Middle East, North America, Northern Europe, Oceania, Russia, Southern Europe, the stars, underground civilization, and Western Europe. I mean, it covers so much. It is friggin' awesome. Then we've got trauma. A trauma that you experienced in that lifetime. Abandonment, accident, betrayal, disaster, exile, guilty conscience, imprisonment, loss of status or reputation, material loss, mental illness, oppression, persecution, or torture. I'm telling you, doing past life work is not always, it's not peachy keen. It's not always exciting. It is brutal sometimes. A lot of times. Physical limitations, poverty, psychic wounding, psychological or verbal abuse, slander, war, witness, or bystander. The faiths that they have in here are agnostic or atheist, eccentric, celestial, cult, ethical religion, esoteric, fanatical, forced conversion, Gnostic or dualistic, magic-based, monotheistic, mystical, nature-based, pantheistic or animistic, philosophical, polytheistic, primal or aboriginal, prophet-led, sacrificial, and secret. Then we've got the different kinds of love. We've got abandonment, affair, arranged marriage, celibate or asexual, companionship, deceived or betrayed, domestic abuse, LGBT, non-possessive, obsessive, polygamous. Oh, polygamous. Oh my goodness gracious. Or polyamorous, possessive. See, that's why I'm not a polygamist. No way could I share, right? Promiscuous, separated by distance, slave or concubine, spinster. Now watch the next one. It's going to be that. That's what my life was. Star-crossed because I said I didn't. True love, unrequited, widow or widower. Then we've got also identity. We've got adult female, adult male, androgynous, child, devotee or follower, father, friend, grandchild, grandparent, guru or idol, husband, lover, mother, older man, older woman, other relatives, sibling, wife, young male, and young female. And then you get to a card, and it goes into detail on which one that you get. So the way that I have used this particular deck is to, just like when you are asking the cards individual questions for a reading. So, which I will, if I remember, I'll put links to the other videos that I've done with this deck. But, so I would ask, okay, so, and this is not a legit reading, but how did I die in a past life? And these are all screwed up too, by the way. So how did I die in a past life? I'm not gonna look, and I'm gonna grab one, okay? Okay, so it's kind of like here. So wealthy elite and reign of terror, but we're gonna go like this. So how did I die? Public execution. So I was publicly executed. And what did it say? I was a wealthy elite. Reign of terror. So during a revolution. So I was probably some crazy ass wealthy elite on a reign of terror, just going off and killing people, and did some sort of war crimes during the Revolutionary War or something, some sort of upheaval or revolution or war, and they caught me and publicly executed me. That's how you can use this card. So after you get all the specifics of, you know, like, did I have love in that life? How old was I when I died? Those are all the kinds of questions that you can ask, and you can use both sides of it. So, how old was I when I died in that life? Okay, so I'm not looking. How old was I when I died in that life? Let's find a card. Okay. I was a mother. So identity. So I could have been, and it was showing a gypsy. Oh, psychic. Oh, gosh, you know what that makes me think of? Wow, what just popped in my head was like, what was her name? Joan of Arc. Because she had like those psychic visions. God was talking to her, so she went on this crusade. And although she wasn't a mother, she had visions of, I believe, Mother Mary that was telling her those things. So I wonder if it's kind of like trying to show you it can tie in that way, you know. But anyways, let me move on. So, did I come with a guidebook? If so, do you like it? Or use it with me? And I've just showed you that. The guidebook is phenomenal, and I absolutely recommend it. 23. Do I have any add-ons or special systems that make me stand out? And I've just showed you that too. It is such an awesome system. And you can use this to get all your specifics. And then once you get the specifics of that life, then the last deck that I just showed on When the Tarot Asks, which is the Art History for Past Lives Tarot, then you use that for 21 days and go just so deep into that life. You can uncover so much about one past life. And it'll bring maybe questions that you have from this. It'll bring it closer together so you get a bigger picture of that actual life, you know. Question 24. Do I have any other markings that help or distract you? Well, there's no other markings on this particular deck other than, because it's not like your basic tarot deck. It's not even like your basic oracle deck. This one is designed for a specific type of, but it does have double-sided. So you don't, every card is double-sided and can be used on both sides. Or you can use just one side, or, you know, it's up to you. The sky is the limit on how you want to use these cards. And question 25. Would you recommend me to a beginner and why? Okay, so like the last deck that I talked about, and When the Tarot Asks, which was the art history for past lives, I'm saying it again. I would recommend that to a beginner, because if you're using, and if a deck comes with a really good guidebook, especially with past lives, I don't care if you're sitting down and using a deck like this or the past life tarot deck with even a client. Honestly, the guidebooks are invaluable. So you can be a beginner, you can be a completely advanced person. It doesn't really matter, because these systems are so inclusive. All the material that you would need in order to use it is right there with you. So, yeah. So I would absolutely suggest this to a beginner. And I believe this is still available on Etsy, or she might have her own website. I'm not exactly sure. If I can find it, I will be putting a link down below for you to pick up this particular deck if it's something that you're interested in, or to just take a look at it in further detail and see all the different cards that comes with it. Then I will be putting a link down below to one of my other videos. I believe I've done a full walkthrough. If I haven't, I will do one soon showing all of the different ones, but I could have swore I did. So I hope to see more people actually doing this particular hashtag. I haven't seen a whole lot of people do it, and the ones that have, thank you so much, because I absolutely love seeing how people use their decks in depth, and how those cards can make such a huge impact on your life, and how different decks bring different flavors. So as somebody that loves to collect decks for various different reasons, they are not all, you know, when somebody says, oh, oracle decks, I don't really get it. This is a friggin' oracle deck that can bring so much knowledge, and then you add it with the tarot, it's perfect. There's so many different, I just encourage people to, you know, not get hung up on what other people say or do, and just explore for yourself, you know. And the more that people do videos like this, other people can appreciate, like myself, how a deck has made such a huge impact on your life, and how you use it and utilize it, you know. So, and how others that are maybe brand new to tarot and oracle, they can also see it. Gives them knowledge, it gives them understanding. So thank you for spending this time with me. As I said, I'll be putting all the links that I can find on this down below, and I am sending you love always. Thank you so much.